I'm here in the studio right now, and I was watching my personal art students yesterday in class. There was one particular student who was throwing a taller vase, and his vase kept falling over when he got about this tall. And I realized it was the speed of his wheel that was causing it to fall over. So I wanted to address that today. I am just working on centering this piece right here, okay? So I've got my elbows lodged into the inside of my legs, and I'm just holding it so that it is not bumping against me right now. Once I get it centered, the next thing I need to do is go ahead and seal the bottom. So I just take a finger like this and I just kind of seal that bottom, and that kind of helps create a little bit of a suction right here between the bat and this ball of clay. So what I'm doing now is coning it up and down, okay? Once it's centered, I'm just taking the palms of my hands, I'm keeping my elbows lodged again, and I'm just squeezing the palms of my hands together, and the clay has nowhere else to go. It's gonna go up, okay? So just nice, easy kind of pull upwards. Not too hard so you don't throw the bat off of the wheel. Okay, so now why do we cone? Because coning helps get out extra air bubbles. And then also, when you're coning up and down, you're mixing the water in the clay and you're softening it up a little bit, making it easier to manipulate. Right now, I have coned 3 times, and that's usually what I tell my students, cone up and down 3 times. Now that I've done that, I am going to just rest the palm of my hand over here, and I'm just gonna flatten the top out right here, because my next step is to pull open, or to open the inside of this. So I'm noticing, see all this slip stuff around here? I can take that slip, and I often tell my students, go ahead and take that really wet clay, and look at that. Just take it and add it to this piece right here, because what you're gonna do is end up opening this, and you don't want it to get too sticky and end up throwing off center, okay? And I'm just gonna take my hand and just take this finger right here, rest it right in the center, and I'm just gonna press down and then start using the other 3 fingers to kind of help open this pot. And right now my elbow is resting on my leg so that the pot will not get off center. So what I've done is continued opening and pulling outward. So now that it's open, there is excess water in there. So you want to take a sponge and clean out that excess water a little bit. Clean out the outside. And then go ahead and make sure that your top rim is flat by just slightly pinching like this. And then you can just take your other finger. Just kind of get that excess off. Well, I slowed the wheel down just a little bit because remember when I talked to you about the pots falling over? If you think of a merry-go-round, if you're on a merry-go-round and you're on the outer edge, you're going to fly off. But if you can make your way to the middle of the merry-go-round, the force is a lot less. So I want to take my right hand and the palm of my hand and just make a wall, a flat wall. And then just pull that pot open just slightly, a little bit more with these fingers against that wall. Because I'm trying to make this right here straight up and down, because I'm going to pull this thing up this way. As my pot gets taller and taller and taller, my wheel should slow down less and less and less as I'm continuing to pull this pot upward because of the force of the wheel. And if I continue going fast, it's going to collapse. So I'm gonna wet the sides. Just drip that water on there, wet the sides down. And I'm gonna do one last pull, and remember that my wheel is going very slow because I'm getting taller, right? So at this point, you can choose to leave it as is, or you can choose to stretch it a little bit more, and that is what I'm doing. I'm just taking a sponge here, and I am just going to stretch it a little bit wider, because my plan for this cute little bowl is to make a fruit ball out of it. So I'm going to stretch a little bit wider. Here's my cute little fruit bowl. I'm so excited. I just trimmed the bottom, cut it off with a wire trimmer, and just moved it to this bat right here. And I'm gonna let it sit for about 8 hours, trim up the bottom, and then I will show you how to make it into a fruit ball. So now it's time to start poking holes in this. And I have this little tool here in the studio. It's got a little spring and a screw, and it kind of pops. So obviously it would cut a hole and then you can pop it back out. There's another tool that I have at home. I really wish I would have grabbed it, but you can buy it at any ceramic store. It actually has a handle. So I actually made 3 snakes thinking that I was going to do a braid, but I think what I'm going to do instead is just cut these 2 in half and just twist them instead. I think that will be a lot easier, and plus with the size of this little bowl, I think 3 pieces braided would be too thick. So here's my finished fruit bowl. It's super cute. Look at those colors. Look at those layered underglazes. And I did a layered sgraffito technique right here, which I explained in another video. But I'm so glad that you got to join me today. I hope that you try this. Leave me comments and let me know how it goes. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.